This guy is good. All right, now this is part 2. I don't know if I'm gonna make this one long video, or if I'm gonna cut it. I'll probably make it one long video, so just rock out with me.
With nice color scheme. Jeffrey had interest in women, but he never considered himself a player. A player to Jeffrey was somebody who had the girls kind of coming at them at all times. Jeffrey wasn't like that. Jeffrey was shy. He was really tall and really skinny. He was malnourished. His teeth were rotten. There was no money to go to a dentist. And all the sugar from the candy that he ate to keep substance in his body rotted his teeth. So Jeffrey would speak by covering his teeth with his lips, or often speak like this, with his hand or his arm over his teeth, because he had low self-esteem. He was made fun of and bullied growing up. So he got rid of the player. That was not going to work for him. But he kept the young thugs. He got rid of the S, and he became a performer, young thug. And from that day forward, he insisted everybody call him Young Thug. On every type of tweet, Facebook, social media of any kind, on any records, he refers to himself as Young Thug. And that fit in to the appearance of the gangster rap, because most people think about a thug as a criminal. But to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life. Thug life, the hate you give
Little children. I'm gonna let him do his thing, but you already know.
little infants, Fs, everyone. Meaning discrimination and
Yeah, I know what I meant. I'm high, but yeah. Shout out to Tupac.
racism hurts all of us. We teach that to our kids. That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God. That's what thug means. Jeffrey is talented.
Wait, did he just break that down? I kind of zoned out.
That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God.
This guy is a beast. He just said thug means truly humble under God. Oscar performance. Free Young Thug.
That's what thug means. Jeffrey is talented. He worked so hard, he'd outwork everyone. He would stay up all night after night trying to rhyme words, put them to beats. When he had time and the opportunity to go into the studio, he wouldn't leave. He is a prolific creator of music. The neighborhood realized his talent. He was the best rapper in the neighborhood. So Jeffrey was invited to the underage clubs to perform. And he would be the introductory entertainer. He would be able to perform 5 or 10 minutes, $50, get paid $100 sometimes. It's about 17 years old, 2008, 2009. When Jeffrey would leave the establishment, he'd get robbed. And the money was gone. And that money may not be a lot of money to some of you in 2008 or 9, but to Jeffrey, it was food. It was meals for him and his family. The next time Jeffrey went for an event, he did not get on robbed. There's a man in the community who's a man of influence in the community. He was allegedly the leader of Raised on Cleveland, the supposed gang, Rock Crew. He was supposedly the leader of the Bloods in that area, in Cleveland Avenue. His name is Quentin Porter. Goes by Boo or Big Boo. And when Jeffrey comes to make the performance, he's no longer there for 5 or 10 minutes. He is the lead performer. He's going to go last. As the time went on, the neighborhood got behind Jeffrey. The Rock Crew, the Bloods, the whole neighborhood, they would put up signs on the post, come out tomorrow night. Watch our own Young Thug perform at this establishment. The place is sold out now. This is no longer 25, 35 people. There are hundreds of people in the club. There are hundreds of people in the parking lot trying to get into the club. There are hundreds of people backing up in the streets, all to see Young Thug. The people who own these establishments are making money.
This shit getting good as fuck. Yo, this shit is getting good as fuck. Yo, this shit about better than fucking Law and Order. Damn, I gotta stop cursing. I monetize. This about better than Law and Order.
They are attracting customers. Word gets out. Jeffrey's no longer just performing in the area that he grew up in the poverty-stricken area. He's now in Atlanta, South Georgia, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. He is performing all of the time. By 2011, Jeffrey released his first album. It's entitled, I Came From Nothing. And yes, he speaks about killing 12 and people being shot and drugs and drive-by shootings. This is the environment that he grew up in. These are the people he knew. These are the stories he knew. These are the words that he rhymed. This isn't a ballad or a book. These are phrases in a song. And whatever the listener takes from it, you will learn that's what the song means. This is art. This is freedom of speech in America. As the years go on, 2013, 2014, Jeffrey's now 22, 23. It's unbelievable. He has 3 hit songs that are going around the world. Stoner, Danny Glover.
I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner. I'm a stoner, I'm a like grocery. Free Thug.
And Lifestyle. He is...
Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Yo, I bet you the jury is not... Yo, the jury, they probably bobbing in their head thinking about them old classics. Came from the top to bottom of my life. Now make it a little bit did begin. The jury is not paying attention. I'm telling you right now. They lit. No, like they're paying attention to like the fun, interesting stuff. So in their mind, Free Thug.
Making music videos professionally. He is working with some of the biggest artists in hip hop. It worked. It's unbelievable. He is not running this criminal street gang in Cleveland Avenue area of Cleveland to gain property, money, or power. Jeffrey Williams did it on will and hard work and determination without anybody's help, except the people from that area that he will not turn his back on. By 2014, to today, you will learn. Jeffrey Williams has been nominated and won and recognized MTV, United Kingdom, American Soul Train Music Awards. He is a Grammy Award winner. XXL Awards, BET Awards, Billboard Music Awards. Every single year since 2014, that's what he has accomplished. He is not sitting there telling people to kill people. He doesn't need their money. Jeffrey's worth tens of millions of dollars. Jeffrey has been a sponsor for Puma, Calvin Klein. He has been featured on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, GQ magazine, XXL magazine, Paper magazine.
Let him cook. He putting seasoning on it. He putting a sazon. Let him cook. I'm let him cook.
Complex magazine, Variety, Interview magazine. He is at the top of his craft. Jeffrey is so talented in music, he doesn't only do gangster rap. He does rap, gangster rap. He has hits in country music, popular music or pop music, Latin music, Afro, beats. He's been featured on NPR, Tiny Desk. He's played numerous times on Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Fallon Show. Jeffrey has performed in almost every continent on the earth. He's performed in front of more than 300,000 people that come for him. His social media feed has more than 10 million followers. He's not the creator. He's trying to pull people out of poverty. Jeffrey has performed with the likes of Rihanna, Ed Sheeran, Sir Elton John.
Higher. That's my song. With Elton John. Is that Higher? Oh yeah, I believe that's Higher. Damn, he's good. Let him cook.
Drake. Everybody in music. And Jeffrey didn't only stay in music. He did fashion. He's an icon in fashion. He has been to Paris, to Spain, all over Europe at the fashion shows. He has his own clothing lines. People are walking around the earth today with Jeffrey's picture tattooed on their calves, on their shoulders. They have his lyrics on their bodies. YSL, when Jeffrey was coming up and making it, Lil Wayne had and repped, talked about Cash Money Records. That's his label. Jeffrey's friends in Cleveland Avenue, they call themselves YSL. Because on the pants, the tight-fitting pants, the women's pants that they're wearing, it says YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. That's where that comes from.
He just said Jeffrey's a fashion icon. Jeffrey's friends called themselves YSL because on the tight pants that they were wearing, it said YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. What you talk about, Young Slime Life? This stands for Yves Saint Laurent. His wife better suck him off tonight. And she better do it good. This nigga like the white Johnny Cochran in this bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey stands before you, charged with some of the most serious crimes in the state of Georgia. I'd like to go through with you each and every crime that he's charged with in the indictment. The indictment's thick. You're going to have it. At the end of the case, the Honorable Judge Granville will give it to you. You should read it. It's the charging document. It is critical in the case. There are many counts. Most of them Jeffrey's not charged with. But everybody, there were 28 people who the prosecution, through the grand jury, indicted together. They're all in count one. That's why this is a joint trial, because everyone's in count one. That was the decision of the prosecutors. You will learn that Jeffrey doesn't even know most of the people in this indictment. He doesn't know them. They all know him because everybody in that area knows Jeffrey Williams. He is known as the Michael Jordan of that area. He
Is he? That's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
didn't get out and stay away. He tries to come back and give people hope because he knows what it is to be depressed, hungry, and have nothing going for you. The first count is a RICO conspiracy. And the supposed objective that the prosecution charged is that Jeffrey, along with others, had a meeting of the mind. They had an agreement. They have an agenda together. And that they wanted to preserve and protect and enhance the reputation, the power, the territory of YSL. That's the allegation. Jeffrey hasn't lived in the Cleveland Avenue area in a decade. More. He has homes from Los Angeles to Atlanta. But they charge him with, he wants the reputation, power, territory of the enterprise by obtaining money, weapons, or other property. Jeffrey needs no money from somebody on robbing someone of a car. Or doing a $30 drug deal. Or even $100 million drug. He's got his own source of legitimate income. So RICO conspiracy, there are then what's called overt acts. The judge will charge you on the law. But there are 191 overt acts. And those are separate instances that the prosecution said they're going to prove. Most of them don't include Jeffrey. But the ones that do, I'd like to go through with you. And I've broken it up into 3 categories. Because an overt act can be a crime. It doesn't have to be a crime, so I then wrote chats, social media, any type of statement, because the prosecution has been investigating Jeffrey for a decade. They have all of his personal chats. You think you're talking to somebody on Facebook in a personal chat? They have all of his thoughts. They put these in the indictment. The third category are lyrics. So I'd like to go through them with you. First is going to be supposed crimes, and these are the overt acts that you will see.
I'm sitting up. I'm about to roll me another blunt. Like, damn, it's good.
Involve Jeffrey. As you can see, Jeffrey has never been convicted of a crime. He stands before you. He's not a convicted felon. He can vote. He can carry a gun. He can be on a jury. But now, these acts are embedded in the indictment. So let's start with the first one. So this is September 9th of 2013. Jeffrey just turned the age of 22. And he's driving in a car, and he gets stopped, of course, for failure to maintain a lane. And the police officer comes up to the car, and Jeffrey doesn't have a license. Doesn't have a valid driver's license. So now he's under arrest. Police officer says he sees pills, Xanax pills, 7 of them, on the console. Police officer searches the car, and underneath the front passenger seat, there's no passenger, is a gun. That weapon comes back stolen from Andrew and Ann Phillips months before. There's no evidence that Jeffrey's involved in that burglary of the Phillips home. There's no evidence Jeffrey ever touched that gun. You're not going to hear any type of DNA, fingerprints.
For all we know, the cops could have planted it. I'm just saying.
In fact, Jeffrey says, that's not my gun. The police officer wants to know, whose gun is it? Jeffrey's not talking to police. So Jeffrey gets arrested. That case got dismissed. But 10 years ago now, it's an overt act for you to consider. You will learn that this stop was video recorded and audio recorded. But the City of Atlanta Police Department, the District Attorney's Office of Fulton County, I demanded that. They can't find it. So you're going to rely on...
Why they can't find it? Why they can't find it? Y'all been investigating this man for a decade. Y'all can't find certain police body cams? Nah. Nah, y'all probably planted that gun. I don't know. It's not looking good for Georgia.
Report of an officer who doesn't remember this incident. That's it. That's an act in furtherance of a conspiracy. That's the entirety of that first overt act. The next one. This is overt act 5 through 7. You may notice that Jeffrey's not even alleged to be in this overt act, but now you're going to hear Jeffrey's supposed involvement. This is 2 days later. It's September 11th, an infamous day in America. It's 2013. Jeffrey was arrested, if you remember, for the last overt act, September 9th, 2013. He made bond. He just got out. Walter Murphy, he grew up with Jeffrey. He's one of the people that would exchange dirty clothing with Jeffrey. You will learn that they would have no money between them. One of them would come across $1. They would split the food that they could buy with that $1 together. Walter Murphy is with a person named Adrian Bean and Fred Plethora. And there is an armed robbery of Mr. Dotson. Gunfire went out. Police are always in this area. So when the gunfire was heard, police respond immediately. Adrian Bean is driving the car. This is a car that he borrowed from a friend. This has nothing to do with Jeffrey. So he commits a crime in someone else's car. Adrian Bean almost kills a police officer, almost runs him over, driving so recklessly, high rate of speed, goes across a neighbor's lawn, over an embankment. The car is now airborne. It goes over, you'll see pictures, goes over a parked police car in a parking lot and slams into the side of a laundromat. The car crashes. Mr. Plethora is shot. Police are firing at the car. Mr. Murphy is shot. Mr. Bean runs away. He's captured. Mr. Bean, you will learn, is told, hey, we believe there was a fourth person in that car. If you make that young thug, we'll go lenient on him.
Dirty ass cops. I'm glad he exposing them.
Adrian Bean is in the Fulton County Jail talking with his wife. He said, I should have ran the way Thug ran. He got away. That's recorded anytime an inmate, a person is incarcerated, in a jail. Most of the time, if they're speaking with a pastor, a lawyer, their calls are being recorded. You will learn that Mr. Bean also stated on a recorded call, they gave us a story to tell. Mr. Bean is interviewed 4 days later, September 17, 2013, by Detective Quinn, City of Atlanta Police Department. Detective Quinn it's a big case because police officers are discharging their weapon. People are getting shot. Detective Quinn interviews Adrian Bean. And Adrian Bean tells him, they talk about this recording. Adrian Bean tells him, I lied to my wife. Everything on those recordings are not true. Jeffrey was never arrested for this. He was never charged for this. He was never prosecuted for this. He's not even in our indictment. on Overt Act 5, 6, or 7. But now, we're going to hear from Mr. Bean. That's it for the next one.
Nah, that's crazy. Jeffrey is a good man. Free that man, Georgia.
Somehow that furthered this
He's a good man, and y'all keep trying to throw his name under the bus. You niggas is fucked up after all he done did for y'all. Shame on y'all.
conspiracy. Jeffrey was not leading charge. Next overt act is January 7th of 2015. Now, this is a larger part of our case problem. God forbid Donovan Thomas is going to be killed 3 days later. It's going to be January 10th of 2015. And in order to understand this rental car, and there's nothing clearly wrong with renting a car, but in order to understand this rental car and then 3 days later the killing of Donovan Thomas, you have to understand some background. So we're shortly before New Year's of 2015. And there's a man named Kenneth Copeland. He goes by Woody. And Kenneth Copeland is not friends with Jeffrey Williams. He uses Jeffrey Williams, just like a lot of people. Because Kenneth Copeland wants to...
Oh, he talking about that Woody nigga. Let me get comfortable. It's finna be good.
be famous and have money. So he leeches on to Jeffrey Williams about a year before that. Well, Kenneth Copeland is a criminal. He is a notorious criminal. In fact, you will learn that he was ranked one of the 10 most violent people in Georgia by the federal prosecutor here in Atlanta. That is Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland breaks into cars. He steals the property they're in. Donovan Thomas is the head of a gang called IF, Inglewood Family. Donovan Thomas and Jeffrey are friends. Jeffrey's friends with everybody. It promotes him. And Jeffrey tries to help other people at the same time. Kenneth Copeland breaks into Donovan Thomas's car. And he takes his expensive chain, Donovan Thomas's wallet, his driver's license, and Donovan Thomas's cellular telephone. Donovan Thomas calls his cellular telephone. Kenneth Copeland answers the call on Donovan Thomas's phone. Kenneth Copeland changes his voice, tries to disguise his voice, but Donovan Thomas knows it's Kenneth Copeland. Donovan Thomas has people on the street. And he tells Kenneth Copeland, "You have my stuff. I'm coming to get it back." And Kenneth Copeland says, "Yeah, I'm glad you called me. Because one of my partners had your stuff. I realized it was yours, so I got it for you for safekeeping. No problem." When Donovan Thomas meets with Kenneth Copeland, he doesn't come alone. He comes with two other people, and they display guns. Kenneth Copeland's not alone. He's with his brother. They're really not related, but they call themselves brothers. His name is Demekian Garlington. Demekian Garlington and Kenneth Copeland are like this. They are inseparable. Demekian Garlington and Kenneth Copeland are together. When Donovan Thomas comes, he makes it known that Kenneth Copeland is on the menu. Meaning Kenneth Copeland is going to be first. He just stole Donovan Thomas's property. It is now January 6th. It's really January 5th. It's a Monday night going into Tuesday morning, January 6th of 2010. It's going to be the day before this first rental car. And Kenneth Copeland is with a lot of people. Jeffrey's there. Jeffrey was performing on stage at Club Crucial. Monday night was Club Crucial night. That's where they all went. And Kenneth Copeland goes in the back, in the kitchen area, and he's met there by a man named Kelvin Watts. He goes by Shell Kel, and who's a half-brother of Donovan Thomas, and other people who are affiliated with Donovan Thomas, and Kenneth Copeland gets beat. He has bumps on his head, his eye is injured, he's being kicked. No one does that to Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland's the person who puts the bumps on the head, injures the person, kicks him. Kenneth Copeland's mad. And you will learn that Kenneth Copeland then went on a mission. He went to every place that he knew that Donovan Thomas or one of his brothers or friends were, or family members, and he would shoot at them with his weapon. On the 7th day of January 2015, Kenneth Copeland told Jeffrey, I'm going to be with my child, just born. The mother of my child, her name is Miss Quarterman. And I don't want to be driving around.
All right, he's losing me. What's up? Take me back in. Maybe I need to smoke again or something.
In the typical car I drive around in, Dodge Charger. Can I use one of your rental cars? Jeffrey does this for everybody. People need to take someone to a doctor. People want to go out of the state. They don't have transportation. He rents cars all the time. Jeffrey says, yeah, there's a rental car here. It's a Corvette. Kenneth Copeland says, that's a two-seater. My child has a baby seat. That's too small. Jeffrey rents a car at the Atlanta airport on the evening of January 7, 2015, along with Kenneth Copeland. After they drop off the Corvette, the same location. This rental car is in Jeffrey's name. When they leave the rental car location, Kenneth Copeland wants to pick up his brother, D'Amica in Garlington. And after Jeffrey is dropped off, Jeffrey does not see that Infiniti vehicle until after the killing of Donovan Thomas. That Infiniti vehicle, that rental car, is in the possession, the control of Kenneth Copeland that whole time.
Yeah, the DH, like, come on now. Like, you really think Young Thug gonna rent a car and then kill a nigga with the same rental car? Like, come on now. Yo, the DA getting their ass handed to him.
The 8th of January, Kenneth Copeland is shooting at Donovan Thomas and his friends, associates. He's using this Infiniti vehicle. He's using another vehicle. He is on a spree. It's now January 10th of 2015. There's a New England Patriot, Baltimore Raven playoff football game. It's Saturday evening. Donovan Thomas is watching the game from inside a barbershop with a lot of other people, his friends. At approximately 7:22 that evening, Saturday, January 10th, 2015, Donovan Thomas is outside of that barbershop. His Chevrolet Tahoe is parked in that parking lot. Car drives by. You'll see a video, a surveillance video from the stores. You'll see sparks. It's gunfire. Donovan Thomas is struck fatally. The EMTs try to save him. He's taken to Grady Hospital, surgery after surgery, and he leaves us. 2 other people were shot as well, but their injuries were not fatal. Later that day, that evening,
Y'all gotta turn them captions off. Them shit's just wrong as fuck.
Jeffrey, you will learn, is in negotiation with his record label. They want to give Jeffrey over $800,000 up front. And the contract's worth millions to produce these records. That's what Jeffrey was working on. He was working on a music video. No one's going to say that Jeffrey is at that scene of the shooting. But later, Kenneth Copeland, when he's arrested, he tells the police lie after lie after lie after lie. Kenneth Copeland says Jeffrey Williams was involved in that shooting. Although Kenneth Copeland said, I don't know anything about it, I'm just telling you what I heard. Kenneth Copeland's one of those liars in the neighborhood that everyone knows, that becomes a witness, swears to tell God's honest truth. You will learn that after the shooting of Donovan Thomas, his associates did not take that well. Immediately, word on the street is that Kenneth Copeland, Woody, is responsible. Kenneth Copeland is now after 10 p.m., hours after shooting. He's then at Jeffrey's home, along with a lot of people. They're all scared they're going to be killed. They're all telling, I had nothing to do with it. Jeffrey, you will learn, he's friends with Donovan Thomas. Jeffrey puts Donovan Thomas in his music videos. Donovan Thomas invited Jeffrey just recently to come into his neighborhood to shoot a music video with him in it. Jeffrey's not happy. He is sad. Kenneth Copeland says, the police are calling Kenneth Copeland. The police are right on him. And you will learn, and it's on recording, that Kenneth Copeland goes into the police station later that morning, so it's a very early morning hours, January 11th of 2015, and he's with Detective Thorpe. Detective Thorpe is recording this. And Kenneth Copeland says, yeah, I got your call. I was at Jeffrey Williams' house, Thug's house. Everyone knows Jeff. And I told him that the police won't talk to him. Jeffrey said If you had nothing to do with this, you should go talk to the police. That's what Jeffrey said.
I highly doubt it, but W lawyer.
Detective Thorpe asked Kenneth Copeland, this is hours after the killing. Do you have anything to do with a rental car, an Infinity rental car? Were you in an accident in an Infinity rental car? And Kenneth Copeland says, no.
Now he lied.
A liar. Kenneth Copeland tells Detective Thorpe, earlier today, during the time of the killing, I was at the Green Store. The Green Store is like a grocery store. It's green in color. It's called the Green Store. It's not far from where Donovan Thomas was got killed. You will learn that there's video surveillance inside and outside of the Green Store. Supposedly, Detective Thorpe, who is a qualified law enforcement officer, he's been doing this forever. I'm being told that, no, we never got the video of the Green Store to support the supposed alibi of Kenneth Copeland. No one corroborates Kenneth Copeland and where he was. You will learn that Kenneth Copeland eventually says, it's now June of 2015, gets rearrested. He doesn't want to be in jail. He speaks with the police. He's now with Detective Dennis, Detective Gaither, also City of Atlanta police officers. They're detectives with the gang unit homicide. Kenneth Copeland says, oh yeah, the night of the killing, Donovan Thomas, I wasn't involved. But I saw Jeffrey Williams. He's at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue.
Damn, that's what YSL Woody said? Yo, that's messed up, son. Young Thug put food on these. That's messed up.
Saw him with all these other people. And then I followed him to his home. It's about 8 o'clock at night. There are videos at the McDonald's. They don't have any video. They never bother to get any video. We even try. But we have phone records. And phone records can show that they're not GPS. This is not like you're within 5 feet of this area if you call E911 or something. But it gives you range, maybe 1.5 miles, maybe more. And tells you which tower you're hitting off of. Kenneth Copeland tells the police, I followed Jeffrey Williams' car to his house about 8 o'clock. That's not true. When you track Kenneth Copeland's phone records, he doesn't go near Jeffrey. He doesn't see Jeffrey that night. He doesn't follow Jeffrey home. He doesn't go to Jeffrey's home till after 10. This is all a lie. Kenneth Copeland was told by the police, we want Thug. That's how he gets a deal. Because Kenneth Copeland was also told, you're an armed career criminal. You're going to spend 25 years in federal custody for having a gun. You're going to be dying in the state of Georgia custody because we're going to charge you with gang crime after gang crime after gang crime. But you can help yourself out. On Kenneth Copeland's word, Jeffrey Williams stands here concerning that overt act. So Jeffrey Williams rents a car in his own name to use in a homicide of his friend. Kenneth Copeland, Antonio Sledge, they're all at Jeffrey's home, and they're all scared. They're saying, Donovan Thomas and friends are going to kill us. They think we're involved. Jeffrey gives money to Antonio Sledge so he and his family can get a hotel room and not suffer a potential drive-by shooting. As Kenneth Copeland said, they're all going to be killed. Kenneth Copeland made them all supposed targets by the IFGAN. Kenneth Copeland, Sharon Jackson, Deontay Kendrick, others.
My bad. My dog making mad noise.
Go down to Miami shortly after the shooting. Jeffrey was performing. Jeffrey wanted them to be safe, not get hurt, until people calmed down. Jeffrey then sent them back to Atlanta.
Alright, he cooking. I'm gonna let him cook. Alright, we gonna stay posted on tomorrow, see what else they got. I'm over the That's how long I've been doing this. I'm over the opening statements. Y'all hit that subscribe for the vibe. I'm out.